Well, President Donald Trump has been fined and threatened with jail time again for violating the extensive gag order placed on him by Judge Juan Merchan. A judge, Merchan, could throw the president into any number of cells, from the prison on Rikers Island in Queens to a cell behind the New York courtroom where he's sitting right now. It would be an unprecedented jailing and could make matters more complicated for the Secret Service members that are tasked with keeping him safe. In the trial today, Penguin House publishing executive Sally Franklin took the stand first, entering excerpts from Trump's book into the record, and then, more notably, Stormy Daniels dominated most of the day with testimony so colorful that Judge Merchan was visibly frustrated throughout the proceedings, redirecting the witness to stick to what was relevant. Join me live to discuss all of this, the host of Reawaken America, the tour with General Flynn, and award-winning entrepreneur Clay Clark. Clay, good to have you here. Look, the judge was apparently blushing, I guess I'll just say that, at the extent of things that were said inside his courtroom, all of which have nothing to do with this case, nothing at all. And yet they're tainting the jury. The defense knows that. They asked for a mistrial, in fact. Where are we?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know President Donald J. Trump well. I do consider Eric Trump to be a dear friend of mine. So my mindset today, or my posture, is I'm praying for President Donald J. Trump because he's the only thing standing in the way of the Great Reset, this globalist agenda by Klaus Schwab and Yuval Noah Harari, from being implemented across this nation. And so, one, I would call everybody to be praying for President Donald J. Trump today. Lift him up in prayers. Second is I would call this extortion. I think if we look up the definition of extortion, that's what this feels like to me. This is extortion with a side of political persecution, with a side of election interference. This really is the most nefarious thing that I've witnessed in my lifetime occurring within our legal system.
Now, the judge decided to refuse the request for a mistrial, which was probably warranted. In fact, this whole thing is a mistrial. There's no actual crime here that anybody can identify, not with a straight face. But he denied the mistrial, which means it's all there for the appeal. And this is obviously going to be appealed because we all have the assumption that Donald Trump's going to be convicted here because it's a New York jury. He can't get a fair trial, couldn't get a change of venue, all of those things. But this is all stuff that gets put up on appeal and makes making the appeal so much easier, right?
Well, I can tell you this. I have so many of these wonderful speakers I've met through the Reawakened tour. You know, Peter Navarro, what a wonderful guy, right? Peter Navarro, he is guilty of what? Failing to comply with a congressional subpoena, failing to become a traitor and to basically give up private conversations that he was having while serving as a chief financial advisor to President Trump in an official capacity in the White House. So Peter Navarro is in prison right now for doing the right thing. America's General Flynn. This is a man who lost everything for doing the right thing. Rudy Giuliani, friend of mine, he's losing everything for what? Doing the right thing. So this is where we're calling what is bad good and what is good bad. The Bible said, the Bible warned what would happen to a culture that started calling what is good bad and what is bad good. But I believe that your listeners in America has discernment right now. And I think a lot of Americans are waking up to the corruption and the perversion of our legal system. And I believe that the worse the persecution becomes, the more likely President Donald J. Trump is to become the next president of these United States. And we may be looking at a situation where President Donald J. Trump has to pardon himself as his first act of business as the 47th president of these United States.
Something that's never happened before. I can see liberal heads exploding all over right now as a result of that. How much longer here, Clay? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then we get a verdict. Is that what you think? I'll give you the last word.
I'll tell you this, I'm not a good guesser, but President Trump said yesterday, it looks like they're trying to keep him involved in this for 2 to 3 more weeks. So I can just say this, let's all gather together today. Let's all come together and let's pray for President Donald J. Trump, because again, he is the only thing standing in the way of the Great Reset. And thank you for allowing me to be here on your show today, sir. I really do appreciate you.
Clay, thank you. We appreciate you bringing a clear-eyed bit of observation to all of it. Thank you.